So the past week we have seen on the news that emerging markets like Russia, Argentina, India, Philippines, Indonesia, and even Malaysia are some of the countries that have experienced some losses in their stock market. Now, I see this problem as mainly, um, what do you say, more related to debt and political issues, but more focused on the debt as most of these countries they have debt that is denominated in US dollars, and with the US dollar charging ahead these past few months, and also some political issues happening inside their own country, that would leave a large lag, if you will, between what the US is experiencing in growth and what these countries are going through. The Morgan Stanley Capital International Emerging Markets Index fell into bear market territory, which is defined by a 20% drop or more from the most recent top. So, just quite yesterday, and this has brought to my attention that some people would like to know what's going on that's not really into the financial market. And this is just my interpretation of it. So, I don't think that this phase, as we shall call it, is anything serious. I mean, we saw the blow up of the VIX ETF earlier this year, and basically this is more or less the same, just on a much larger scale compared to that single incident that happened earlier this year. Basically what's happening is investors are scrambling to get liquidity to cover for their losses in positions in these emerging markets, and thankfully most investors that are in these emerging markets don't have a lot of money in them. So I would see probably within the next week or two sell-off might continue, and afterwards, once they have enough money to cover for their loss position and just call it a day, nothing, the markets will start collecting itself together and start either moving upwards or staying in their relative range for a few more weeks. Fundamentally, I don't see anything wrong yet. With what I know now, Malaysia has a new political government. They might need more time while implementing some of their policies to see how the market reacts and how investors feel relative to whether investing in the US or developing, or putting their money into developing markets like Malaysia. I guess the catalyst for funds flowing back into emerging markets would be this next quarter of earnings. All eyes are on the US. They want to know if it's solid, if there is any sign of weakness, whether it's in the economy or in earnings. We might see a shift away from the US as investors take profit and move that money more into these emerging or developing countries. So yeah, that is all I have for this video. And again, all opinions in this video and my blog posts are my own, and they are not to be used as financial advice. This is merely just me explaining some of the things I know or I understand about the markets in general. And if you have any questions that you would like me to dig deeper into, well, just let me know and I'll see if I can find a good answer for those questions. Thank you guys. Have a great week.